Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. So, there was this other story that I received. It was sent to me by one of our dear brothers who were saying that in their community there was a young lady, only 15 years old. She had gone to this other woman and she confessed that a mom and the stepdad, it seems as if they were using her for some rituals. So everyone in the community was scared. So then they came to me and they forwarded me the numbers of the biological father, as well as that confession which the lady did, as she was saying that the stepdad was abusing her, it seems like for some kind of rituals. And when I posted that story, I wanted to thank our dear brother who was working hand in hand with the police, I think from back home. So they managed to track down the couple, the mom and the stepdad. So now this lady and her mom and the stepdad, they are now in Zim. They are still being tracked by the CID department. So let's pray that everything is going to work out. This girl is going to be brought to safety. And if this stepdad and the mom, if they are abusing this young girl, even if it is for their rituals, they need to be brought to justice. So I wanted to thank our dear brother and that community. When they saw that there was something that was wrong with this girl, the way that she is always kept indoors, they managed to speak out. Then the family ran away. So that is a developing story. There is a message that I want to share with you also, a message that I received from our dear brother. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? So my brother, I came to South Africa, that was in the year 2008. And when I came here, let me say that the moment that you leave your own faith, then the devil is going to take advantage of you. When I was back home in Zim, I was going to the Seventh-day Adventist, me and my wife. So I was the one who first came here, and I had the intentions of making my wife to also come and join me with our 1-year-old child. But when I came here to South Africa, I started staying with this other friend of ours. I had been given his phone numbers by our church elder back home in Zim. This man then told me that he had two brothers who have farms. One of his brother had his farm there in old days. Then the other one had a farm in Western Cape where they have a plantation of grapes. So Brother Nashi, as someone who grew up in the city, this thing of working in the farms, I never favored it. I told myself I was here in the city of gold. I was here to make the best out of my life. And this guy, he wanted me to go back from where I had come from, to go and work close to the Zim border. That was not what I wanted. I then ran away from his house. And I regret, Brother Nashi, because I was staying with two other guys that were from Zim. He bought some train tickets for them, and I'm sure that they're still working there in Western Cape. But as for me, even though the man that I am working for right now, he is a man that has a lot of wealth, a well-connected man. But many times I ask myself, what is the meaning of all of these things? I have enjoyed life here in South Africa. People who say that South Africa is such a beautiful country, they do not know what they are talking about. If you go to the suburbs where the richest of the richest live here in South Africa, you will actually think that maybe you are in a first world country. This man, the way that I met up with him after I had ran away from that church elder from our church, I then started staying with another guy who was from Zim. This guy, he was like a go-to guy in the location where we were staying. He was the jack of all trades, and a lot of people, they used to give him some piece jobs. Then there was this other time when he went with me to this other guy's house whom we used to do some piece jobs at his house, clean up the yard and do some minor repairs at his house. Then my friend that I was staying with, there was a trip which he was supposed to take, and he had gone back to Zim. So that older guy called me. This guy, he goes to this church. I am even scared to mention the name of that church, because it seems as if when you dedicate your life to that kind of a church, it's like they trap your mind. And everyone from that church that I have seen, each and every person that speaks bad about that church, it is a very popular traditional church that is here in South Africa. Most of the black South Africans, they go to that church. That you speak bad about that church, something bad will always happen to you. It's like you'll be losing your mind. And I don't know if people will be able to tell you the church which I am trying to tell you about. But this church, Brother Nash, anyone that goes to that church, when they leave that church, something weird will happen to them. It will be like they will be tend to be sort of like some stupid or a fool. That is the experience that I had. So I do not want to speak bad about that church, because I know the consequences. This man is even a bishop in that church, and this man is like a ritualist, the toppest of the top ritualist. When I was working for him, he then told me that he had another house that was in Durban, where I am currently staying. When we went to Durban, the house, it does not have any furniture, no nothing. There is only furniture that is in the bedroom, because that is where the ghost of his wife stays at night. You can actually see the ghost of his wife moving around the house, and he regularly travels from Johannesburg and he comes to Durban so that he can have sexual intercourse with the spirit of his wife. He told me all of these things because he said, in life, it is all about sacrifices. And the first sacrifice that you did is that when you came from your country, coming to this country, the sacrifice that you did, maybe you could have died along the way. So how about you just make this sacrifice? And this thing of sacrifices, I never understood it until the day that I was told that my son, my 1-year-old son that I had left back in Zim, was supposed to be laid on the altar and he was supposed to be sacrificed. How they transported his body from Zim and they brought it to South Africa that night, I do not even know. But when he took me to one of his, like the bishop of the bishops, whilst we were in their altar room, I was then told to call out the name of my son and tell my son that it is I, his father, who is calling out to him, and I want him to present himself before me. And this was like a 1-year-old baby that I was talking about. The boy then appeared and he was laying on top of the altar. I was then given this long knife and I was told that I had to stab this boy that was sleeping on the altar. Brother Nashi, I stabbed the spirit of my boy and he passed away. As he was passing away, there was this other small container that was then placed underneath the altar. Then the blood started to fill up that container that was coated with gold. As long as that blood is in that container, then I'll enjoy the riches of this world. And I was told that there is an extra job that they wanted me to do, since he had done me a favor by making me to join this cult of theirs. So even though I am staying in the most beautiful neighborhoods of Durban, where the most wealthiest of Durban stays, but Brother Nashi, I regularly get out of that estate where this man's property is at. Then I drive into town, like downtown, where the poor people hang out. I'll be driving a very beautiful car, but I always find a spot where I'll park this car, then I'll start to walk as if I am just a regular poor man. Usually they give me some items, so what we do is that we can either go out and we buy maybe a case of dragons or anything like your cool time, things that they sell by the taxi rank. These items, after we would have bought them, then they will be taken to another house. Where this house is, I don't know, but it is in here in Durban. So it spends the whole night being dedicated to the demons. Those items, even the money that I am sometimes given to go and give people, it is dedicated to the demons throughout the night. Then the next morning, I will be given the money. Then I will be told to go out. I'll be walking in town. Maybe I'll be having 50 rand. Then I'll come across a person. Then I'll say, do you have any change? Or of those people that sell tomatoes or the fruit and veggies, I am asking for change. Or I just buy maybe 5 rand airtime. Then the person will give me change. When they give me change, then I'll be stealing their destiny. But if I buy something, I won't be able to steal all of their destiny. But when I donate the money to someone else, I will steal the wealth that belongs to them, that will be locked in the spiritual realm. I will steal their good luck. I will steal whatever, anything that is good, I will steal from them. Where even times when they would make me to go into a wheelchair, then I will be taken to the robots. Then we'll be begging for money. The moment that people will be giving us money, the money we do not use it, there will be another man, an Indian man, who will come and collect this money. Where the money is taken to, I do not even know, Brother Nashi. Deep down, I am still a Seventh-day Adventist. I'm still a Christian, but I regret these things that I am doing. I try to block all of these thoughts of thinking of the things that I do. I tell myself that out there are people that are suffering. And I tell myself that this opportunity that I got, it is an opportunity of a lifetime. But the things that I have been doing, they have been giving me a lot of sleepless nights, knowing that every day when I wake up, I have to go and perform these rituals. And at the same time, I have to constantly check that container just to see where the level of the blood is at, because I will know that once the blood drops, then I will have to perform another ritual. With each and every day, I feel that my spirit is slowly dying. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brothers. Strange things do happen in this world. Just imagine that someone asks you for some change and they give you their money. The moment that you give them your money, they steal your destiny. If someone will ever donate some money to you, will you take it, a stranger? Will you take it, or you will say no, thank you? I know that there are good people out there that donate money to people, but the risky part is that some people who want to maybe throw away their demons, they can use money to give other people these demons and these tokoloshis that they no longer want. Indeed, strange things do happen in this world.